tried to stand up and fight the hands. It just kept getting a return. Chimaev was stuck to him like Velcro, couldn't get away from him. It was total domination. It was total domination.
As you can see by the scores, 50-44 across the boards. Khamzat wins all the rounds, 10-8s from every judge in round 3. What's it like fighting somebody like that that's just going to chase the wrestling, chase it? You defend the first one, he's just coming with another one.
Okay, so very respectfully, but Dustin, I'd love to ask you, because the only time I've seen this was your match with Khabib, and you mentioned to your corner, you said, hey, this is driving me nuts. So from Dricus' standpoint, what is that like?
It's horrible. You want to create space. You want to just get a couple shots off to try to change the rhythm of the fight, but you can't. The guy's stuck to you. He's on you. He's on you. And when you fight a guy like Khabib or like Khamzat, you don't get that in training. You don't feel that until it's live when that bell rings.
I still believe that Chimaev's stand-up is a lot better than he gets credit for, and we saw him on the bottom, and we saw him a little bit of everywhere. But this was the dominant position. It's what his first game plan was, and he was able to stick to it.
The fans, DP, got a little restless, but Chimaev held him in positions that we don't see UFC fighters put opponents in very often. Crucifix position on the ground like that. He held him there for minutes at a time.
And listen, no matter what the fans are yelling and saying, this guy left this arena tonight with a world championship. He's the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Despite the boos, despite anything, he just came out and dominated a champ who's defended and beat top guys over and over again and pitched a shutout. I mean, dominated every round, 10-8s, arguably throughout the whole fight. I don't give 10-8s that easy because I need to see close to finish or a lot of damage done, but I see the judges did give him a lot of 10-8s.
He becomes the third fighter in UFC history to win a middleweight championship with an undefeated record. Chris Weidman first when he upset Anderson Silva, Israel Adesanya in 2019, and Chimaev joins them. What did he show you tonight, Chael, that you didn't know? Because we knew he was a great wrestler. What did he show you that we didn't know about him?
Well, his ability to reset. And the answer of the conditioning, for me, wasn't totally answered just because there wasn't enough scrambles. There wasn't enough high paces. He was able to set one thing up, change elevation, get those attacks. He wasn't having to shoot and reshoot. He wasn't going around and back and forth. So I just say, I don't know that we saw his conditioning, but his ability to reset, his ability to believe in himself. I mean, he came into this fight, and Dricus was clearly the best fighter in the world with the question of, is the undefeated Khamzat the next best thing? I thought that he dealt with the crowd. I thought he dealt with the audience. I think he dealt with the travel like a real professional.
Well, go ahead.
I disagree. I saw his conditioning tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. 4th round, 5th round, that's when DDP was going to get going. And he didn't.
Didn't happen.
And Khamzat really didn't slow down. Every shot he shot was in, was tight, was DDP couldn't get away.
Right.
His conditioning was there, and I was wrong. I thought it wasn't going to be.
We saw Chimaev enter at 14-0, and he had finished 12 of those. And, of course, the lasting memory is Kamaru Usman's fight. 3 rounds, and Usman was picking up steam as that fight went on. But Chimaev, dominant start to finish. As promised, Brett Okamoto upstairs with Anthony and Michael Chiesa. Brett, take it away.
Oh, thank you so much, Brendan. I'm looking forward to speaking about this fight and this fighter to the guys. I want to throw something out there, and then you guys can take it wherever you want. To me, you know, when you have these matchups where a guy's going to come in, and is he going to get him to the ground? Is he not going to get him to the ground? How much did we talk about that this week? With Khamzat, it's like even when Dricus would do the right things and win these tiny little battles, Khamzat's already on his 2nd move, his 3rd move, his 4th move. It does remind me of Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's like even if you defend the takedown, you did it because there's 3 or 4 more coming. That is what stood out to me. What stood out to you in terms of this performance, Michael?
It was just a positional dominance, and the one thing that Khamzat did very well in this fight was, in wrestling, you want to make your opponent keep weight on their hands. It makes it harder for them to stand up, so it made it very efficient for him to get his mat returns, and it made it so hard for Dricus to stand up because you just keep driving the weight.
Yeah, it was an amazing performance. It wasn't necessarily the most exciting thing in the world. I don't think anyone wants to watch that, but not for nothing, it's really hard to compete and beat a guy like that and make it look that easy. I do think a lot of this is going to be on Dricus, though. I think Khamzat went out and does what he typically does. But getting crucifixed 5 times in one individual fight is a problem. He wasn't digging for underhooks. He wasn't turning the right way all the way on the ground. And to be fair to him, there was probably times where he felt uncomfortable. If he turned too much, he was going to take a big shot. I'm not saying that those things don't exist, but he did a lot of wrong things in some of that defense of the grappling, and sometimes he just wasn't doing anything. He was kind of just holding on and waiting. If you're going to beat Khamzat, you have to make him work. You're going to take big shots. He's going to take you down. There's no denying that at this point. He's going to take you down. So you have to make him work. You have to continue to go the whole time. You can't just kind of lay there and wait for his gas tank to run out because he's not working that hard to keep you there.
You know, and I hate to kick a man when he's down. Sorry to interrupt you, Brett.
Yeah,
but I hate to kick a guy when he's down, but in the opening moments of the fight when he gets shot on the first time and he's trying to grab a guillotine and he's trying to use his strength and his athleticism to try to throw Khamzat over the top of him, almost getting himself caught in Von Flue chokes. That opening round, I was like, this is not going to bid well for him. If this is the game plan to just try to muscle your way and explode your way out of these positions, you have to use technique. You can't just rely on your natural gifts, your physical gifts, to try to beat such a good grappler.
There were a lot of middleweights here in the building. You had Kyle Bahau, you had Fluffy Hernandez, Rainier de Ritter, of course, was in there. Those are the guys at the middleweight, but when you're talking about Khamzat Chimaev, you're also talking about Islam Makhachev, Jack de la Maddalena. He said he will go back down. He said he will go up. So this can really go anywhere. Who would you like to see him fight next, Michael?
Man, I'm a big Fluffy Hernandez fan. I think that the pace, the cardio, I think that he could really make Dricus work. I mean, RDR would be really interesting. You know, he could meet him in the middle with that knee and stop some shots. I mean, Imavov and Bahayo, I mean, it's hard to say, but if I had to pick from the bunch, I would take Fluffy.
I think I would probably go Bahayo. I think that he's got a really, really good jiu-jitsu game. I think he's really big for the division. I think that the larger man is going to give Khamzat a lot of problems. And he can strike. He looks really good on his feet. He's got great takedown defense, and he's been actively working to deal with a guy like Khamzat. When I was fighting in Kansas City, he was there training for himself, helping his teammates, but he was doing practices in between that, working on takedown defense, working on get-ups, and they were already kind of in the lab trying to brainstorm and figure that guy out, even then.